All right, let's talk about travel. We've all been there, right? You spend weeks, maybe even months planning the perfect vacation, and when you get there, it's fine, but it doesn't quite hit the mark. It doesn't feel like you. Well, today, we are going to change that. We're going to dive in and help you discover your own unique travel personality so you can start planning adventures that really, truly speak to who you are.
So, just for a second, I want you to actually picture it. Close your eyes if you have to. What does it look like? Are you climbing some epic mountain? Are you just completely blissed out on a perfect beach? Or maybe you're in the middle of a chaotic, wonderful market, just soaking it all in. Whatever you're imagining right now, that's the key. That's the starting point for everything we're about to uncover.
Here's our game plan for today. First, we'll get on the same page about what a Wanderlust personality even is. Then, we're going to explore a bunch of different traveler types. And finally, the best part, will help you figure out exactly which one or which mix you are. You ready? Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can start labeling ourselves or picking destinations, we gotta understand the foundation of all this. What are we even talking about here? Think of your Wanderlust personality as your own internal travel compass. It's the thing that points you instinctively toward the places and experiences that are actually going to recharge your batteries and get you excited about life. When you get it, when you really understand it, you can stop planning the trips you think you're supposed to take and start planning the ones you are truly meant to have. It's a total game changer. So let's jump into our first two major traveler types. And these two are really for people who are driven by one of two things, either that heart-pounding rush of adrenaline or a deep, powerful curiosity about the world and all of its stories.
Okay, first one up, the adventurer. Does this just immediately sound like you? Do you live for that feeling of the unknown? Is a good, healthy challenge what makes a trip something you'll remember forever?
Yep, this is the person who's all about pushing their own boundaries. We're talking about hiking through dense jungles in Costa Rica, bungee jumping in New Zealand, or trekking across those wild, rugged landscapes in Patagonia. For the adventurer, a vacation isn't really a vacation unless their heart is pounding a little bit.
But hey, maybe your heart beats faster for a totally different reason. Is it history, art, and just authentic, real, local experiences that get your travel bug going? If that's the case, you're probably a culture enthusiast.
And here we have a completely different kind of journey. The culture enthusiast wants to dive in head first. They're the ones you'll find completely lost in thought, wandering through the ruins of Rome, or finding a moment of peace in the temples of Kyoto, or just trying to absorb the sheer scale of history in Cairo. For them, every single trip is a chance to learn something new and connect with a place's soul.
All right, let's totally switch gears now. Our next batch of travelers, well, they're all about indulgence. For this group, a great trip is defined by pure relaxation, mind-blowing food, and, the finer things in life. First up in this crew, we have the relaxer. Let me ask you this. Is your absolute dream vacation one where the number one thing on the to-do list is nothing? Just to unwind, recharge, and enjoy some serious peace and quiet?
For the relaxer, paradise is a stress-free zone. We are talking about lounging next to an infinity pool in Santorini, getting incredible spa treatments in Bali, or just soaking up the sun on a white sand beach in the Maldives. The whole point here is to escape, to decompress, and to come back feeling genuinely renewed. Okay, next up, a very different but equally amazing kind of indulgence. For you, is travel basically just a means to an end, and that end is food? Is every single meal an adventure waiting to happen? If you're nodding your head, you are almost certainly a foodie traveler.
For the foodie traveler, their itinerary is basically a culinary treasure map. They are on a mission to find the absolute best street food in Bangkok, they're getting lost in the spice markets of Marrakesh, or they're hopping from one tapas bar to the next in Barcelona. They believe, and I kind of agree, that the best way to know a culture is to taste it.
And for the final traveler in this group, the luxury traveler. Do you just really appreciate the finer things? When you travel, are you looking for premium, exclusive, absolutely seamless experiences from start to finish? The luxury traveler seeks out opulence and comfort, and there's nothing wrong with that. This could mean 5-star hotels in Paris, private tours in Dubai, or maybe even that classic overwater bungalow with your own personal butler in Bora Bora. It's about experiencing the world with the absolute highest level of service and polish. Now, for our last two traveler types. These two are united by a deep, shared love for freedom, for flexibility, and for just carving out their own unique path in the world.
Let's talk about the digital nomad. Is this you? Are you one of those people who has absolutely mastered the art of blending your work life with your travel life? Do you thrive on that freedom of setting up your office literally anywhere in the world?
For a digital nomad, the essentials are pretty simple. A good laptop, reliable Wi-Fi, and a bottomless well of curiosity. They find that perfect balance between being productive and having an adventure in hubs like Chiang Mai or Lisbon, working out of coffee shops and then exploring a brand new city in their off hours. It's a whole lifestyle.
And finally, we have the solo explorer. Do you value your independence more than anything else? Do you just love the pure, unfiltered freedom of exploring a new place entirely at your own pace on your own terms?
You see, for the solo explorer, travel is so much more than just a trip. It really is a journey of self-discovery. It's about personal growth, it's about connecting with the world, and with yourself on a much deeper level. That's why these amazing, safe, and beautiful places like Iceland or Japan are just the perfect canvas for this kind of deeply personal adventure.
So, after going through all these different styles, it all comes down to the most important question. Let's pull all these ideas together and figure out what all of this means for your next trip. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Understanding your travel style isn't just a practical planning tool, it's a form of self-discovery. And remember,